Hello everyone and welcome to October 4th, our Sunday special episode.
Woo!
Bright and early in the morning.
Hey, and you get both of us, two for the price of one here on this video.
Yeah, it's good to spend some time together, so we've got a couple updates that we can give you.
So a lot of you have been asking about housing. I know about a month ago, probably a month, at least, 4 weeks ago.
I don't know, I lost track of time. But you'll notice we have a different backdrop.
We do. So we do have some new housing, and we were staying with some family friends, and that was wonderful. And they were so gracious to let us stay there, and we loved visiting with them and staying with them. But
because one day we might need to go back in the spring. And
we will probably end up back there. But for right now, we are staying with Kathy Lou. So those of you from Durham might remember the Lou family. And so Kathy has a house just like
2 blocks.
Yeah, 2 blocks from the house. If Joey climbed a tree, we could probably see Ethan's room. So it's just behind the hospital, and we're staying here. She has a studio, a detached studio, so it's got a little kitchen and a fridge and a bed and a bathroom and a closet and this nice little filming area.
That's pretty essential when you're looking for a place, is where you can do your YouTube creations.
Yeah, this backdrop kind of makes me feel. Did you guys ever watch like John and Kate plus 8? like that's kind of what I feel like down in their basement with like the same color
for their interviews.
Yes, that's what I feel like. I forget what we're talking about.
Housing. Where we are.
So we're really happy to be here because so tomorrow Ethan starts radiation, and that's early in the morning.
Yeah.
And so being this close to the hospital is super great.
Yeah, and I was thinking about God's timing in all of this. And when we first were talking about radiation, they said, okay, mapping on Wednesday, we could, best case scenario, do radiation on the 1st, but more realistically on the 5th. And then everything happened, and then it's like, oh man, this is going to be way out there. And it's like, here we are. We had radiation scheduled for Thursday, but they were able to get enough personnel to do anesthesiologists and all the other stuff. And so here we are starting radiation tomorrow.
It's like the original plan. And Palermo has next week off for their fall break.
Right.
And so that timing just works really well because we've kind of settled into our old routine, and we're able to balance school with that.
Right.
And now we're kind of in this new routine of taking Ethan to radiation, and so having a whole week to kind of figure out what our new morning will look like and how school will work with that. It's just really nice that we can figure out Ethan's routine and then figure the other pieces out later and not have to do both pieces at the same time.
Yeah.
For the first 5 days. So that's really good.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're living in these two worlds. Like the Ethan world is falling apart, but the rest of our life is still so good. Yeah. And so when you're with Ethan, it's hard, just all the medical stuff, and it just kind of seems desperate a lot of the times, and it's easy to get discouraged.
Right.
But when you're home and you're with our other kids, and they are still so happy and full of life and just being children in childhood and doing all the things that kids their age should do, except for going to school. All the normal COVID things that children should do. And so it's just this really weird
dual life
of being sad and kind of mourning this, and then also just being so happy and alive over here. It's a very weird double hat thing that we're doing.
But we can still see God's hand in the middle of all of it. And despite everything that's going on, we can see him at work in our life. And I think that's so encouraging to both of us, is that even though we don't see the whole picture, we can see him at work in our lives.
And just, the timing of all of this, and finding a place to stay, and, just pieces of it.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of times with Ethan's autism, you know, I wasn't necessarily like specifically thankful for his autism diagnosis, but the people that have become a part of our lives that we are connected to because of that diagnosis,
Yeah.
and the people that have enriched our lives as a part of Ethan's services and different things like that, like our lives are so much richer because of those people in
Yeah.
our life. And we can kind of see the same thing starting here, even though we're still at the beginning of it. The people that have come into our life
Yeah.
that we probably wouldn't have crossed paths with or wouldn't have had like a strong connection with, now we are. And
Yeah.
you know, Ben and Chris, it's like we're forever bonded, not through Joey's parents, but our own, like
Our own part of the story.
right. And
Yeah.
so that's really, you know, it's pretty amazing to just see God work.
Yeah.
And in spite of
All the bad.
all the bad, there's so much good
Yeah.
to be thankful for. And so we're really grateful to all the people that are loving on Ethan and loving on us and
Loving on our kids.
Yeah. It's a huge encouragement and a huge blessing
Yeah.
to receive your generosity.
Yeah.
And you know, Joey's very much a fixer.
Yeah.
You know, he likes to be the one that people are coming to, that Joey, I need this or I need that, or and he likes to fix it. You know, that's how he processes, that's how he helps. He just wants to fix, you know, Mr. Handyman, right?
Anything. Everything.
And we can't fix the situation that we're in.
Right.
And you know, we can't, there's Joey's skill set does not solve any of our problems.
Right.
And
And in this, it's been a very humbling, a good humbling that I'm on the receiving end of a lot of the generosity and the care, and I'm on the other side of other people's care. And being on the receiving end has been a humbling thing that has reminded me that I need to allow other people into my life and to care for me as we go through this, because I'm outside of my comfort zone, but people are just loving on us so much.
yeah, feels really good. So
Yeah.
thank you for taking care of us.
Yep.
Thank you to the Lou family for letting us stay here.
Yeah.
And you know, Kathy has just been so gracious to welcome us here, and we're just really thankful to be so close.
Yep.
And so a quick update on Ethan. He will start radiation and chemotherapy tomorrow
Mm-hmm.
at 6. And he'll get his
6:30.
well, he gets his first meds at 6.
Oh, okay.
And then the transport team will get there about 6:30, and his radiation appointment is at
7.
7. So we'll give you more of a detailed
What the day looks like.
once we know what that looks like. But he has 33 radiation appointments scheduled.
Yep.
So if you want to make like a little chain and have a 33-day countdown to
Yeah, we're basically doing this till Thanksgiving. So
yeah. So our prayer is just that, you know, that his tumor responds to the radiation in the right way.
Right.
You know, we're really on track to want more good days with Ethan, and so we're hoping that putting him through radiation, which is going to be really hard, buys us more good days with Ethan, that it buys us time and good quality
Yeah.
time, you know, that it's going to be worth Ethan suffering what he's going to have to go through, you know, the next 6 weeks for the other side of this, of being able to come home and
Yeah.
having some good quality time together. So our prayer is just that the radiation works. You know, we won't know like immediately, but he'll have a couple scans, you know, in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we want the cancer cells to die and the healthy cells to
thrive.
and rebuild.
Yeah.
You know, we want the chemotherapy to work. We want Ethan's blood count stuff to stay up so that his immune system stays strong.
Yeah.
And all of this, you know, Ethan is pretty much in a weak state, you
Yeah.
know, going into his first surgery you know, he was pretty, despite being sick, you know, he was pretty strong.
Yeah.
And, you know, now he's been in a hospital bed for a long time, and he's just, his body's weak. So praying for strength for his body to go through what he needs to go through.
Yeah.
Is kind of where we are.
Yep. So, to finish out the video, I thought Ethan could tell a joke. So, till next time.
What do you call a machine that picks up pigs? A forklift.
Okay, tell the bear one now.
What do you call a bear with no teeth? A gummy bear.